Alan Hodge, and my guest this evening is Kathy Sims, and we're renewing our conversation, or continuing our conversation, with regard to urban renewal. Kathy has become just quite an expert on this topic just by long experience, and we are just at the point now in the discussion where we're going to talk about some of the upcoming legislation on regarding urban renewal and what these may be about. In one case that I'm aware of, I think one piece of legislation is actually going to be introduced for outright repeal. What do you think of that one?
It's my favorite. that piece is being presented by Representative Schaefer.
Yes.
Who's also quite knowledgeable about urban renewal.
Yes.
And it's
well, I know that.
In addition to outright repeal, it doesn't affect those that are currently in operation.
Ah, I see.
They will continue on for the length of time that they were established to do, and will still gather their funds for all those 24 years.
So there's kind of a sunset on those?
Yeah, when they're done, then they can't open up another one.
Okay.
And no more new ones could be established.
I see, I see.
So, yes, that has a lot of merit, but it has a lot of opposition.
Well, I see this one here, and once again, the list I have, of course, was in what they call an RS form, but once again, they have all been printed into bills now, from what I understand.
All, with the exception of mine.
Oh, really?
Mine goes on the floor again tomorrow. It needed one change.
Okay, so the one that you have introduced then is entitled, well, right now it's entitled RS 20191, Urban Renewal Election of Board Members.
Right.
So what will be kind of involved in the content of that one?
Well, the content specifically says that there will be a board but the board must be elected.
Mm-hmm.
I specified that it'll be a 5-member board.
Uh-huh.
And the reason for a 5-member board, and because there were other numbers thrown around like, 8, 9, 11, etc. But
yes.
I wanted it to be small enough to be memorable to the voters.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be any confusion about who made this decision, who made that decision. I thought a 5-member board was big enough to be diverse,
mm-hmm.
but small enough to be accountable.
Now, if you wanted to be a wise guy, you could have it an even number with no provision for a tiebreaker.
Oh, that would cause a problem.
Yeah, I guess it would.
So, but in addition, I specified that if you were an elected member of that board,
mm-hmm.
you could not be an elected member of any other kind.
Okay.
I don't want the Chamber of Commerce, or not the Chamber, but the City Council people,
mm-hmm.
or the highway districts, or some of those putting people on these boards that might have a conflict.
A conflict of interest. It seems like that's already prevalent enough in the system as it is, I suppose.
It already is. But it went back for a change because I was reminded by another representative, very diligent
mm-hmm.
Representative Julie Chatterton,
mm-hmm.
that we didn't want to exclude precinct committeemen.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and in Idaho, those are also elected by statute.
Well, that's true.
So we made the quick change, and it'll be back before the committee tomorrow.
Okay, very good.
So looking forward to it getting printed, and then we'll see where we go from there.
All right. Do you have some familiarity with some of the other ones?
All of them.
I see one here apparently that has been printed. That has been introduced by Representative Moyle from Star.
I think he did 2.
Yeah, I see 2 of them here. One of them is called Urban Renewal Agencies, Elections and Revisions. And then there's one that's called the Urban Renewal Revenue Allocation Areas.
Okay, what that deals with, his first one, the topic again was?
The elections and revisions.
Okay,
yeah.
Here's the one that requires an election to be held of the voters to establish a URD district.
Okay.
Before they even think about the board, to even think about having it. Tell us why we need it, let us vote on it.
Well, in case that slid by any of our viewers, that's true. Apparently, that there was not even an election required to even establish an urban renewal district within the city.
None.
Okay, so, okay, this is getting better all the time.
The next one that he did on that list Within each urban renewal, there will be several taxing districts, such as the highway district, the college districts, all the taxing entities within there, the county, the city, the fire district, etc. The second piece of legislation he's proposing is for those taxing districts to be able to opt out.
I see.
Like, we'll be in your district, but don't take any of our money.
Okay, all right.
So,
and once again, the voters decide.
once again, no, on that one, it's not the voters, it's the districts and the taxing entities themselves who will tell the city, don't include us.
I see. Okay.
Right now, I think last year there was a piece of legislation that Senator Hammond passed that means they can't take any of the school levy money, which I thought was very well done and needed. So
Yeah.
we didn't have to mention the schools in that one, but every other taxing districts. I talked to my highway district before I came down, and he said, you know, just out of his last year's budget, they took $105,000, and his is a little highway rural district. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
what a shame.
Probably could have used that, I suppose.
Well, it means he has to raise his levy rate so he can cover his budget, and that's how the taxes in the county go up.
Yeah, sure.
In the city of Coeur d'Alene, 18% of all the taxes collected in the city of Coeur d'Alene go to the URD district.
Oh boy. You know, and I don't even know what it is in Ada County. I really don't.
I have a list of county by county. I'll see that you get one.
That would be good. In fact, I think that
county
probably,
by county and city within the county.
So, and this would be available to anyone who is viewing our program?
Absolutely.
That asks for it?
There are some cities, Post Falls has had as many as 6 URDs all at one time.
My gosh, I didn't know that. Okay. I see another one here called the Urban Renewal Single Project Refunds Dispersed. I think
Bob Nonini.
Representative Nonini.
Representative Nonini is from Post Falls. And that one says, number one, you must be project specific, and you cannot change that. If you say that you're going to put in a new sewer system, that's what you can do, and then when it's done, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
If there's money left over when you're finished, you must return it to the taxing districts from whom you took it.
I see. Okay.
A great bill.
So all of this legislation, you know, if you can't have the repeal that you so desire, are all designed at least to try to reform a system that
control.
Yeah, and bring control back to the voters.
Back to the voters.
Okay.
Because they have no control now.
Yes.
None.
Well, in the brief couple of minutes we have left here, I guess it did mention 2 others here. Well, we had already discussed the one where it was introduced about a repeal, but the one was called the Urban Renewal Public Hearing, and I understand that Phil Hart is involved in that, and then also the Urban Renewal Election for Bonds and Indebtedness. It says here that Representative Baer introduced that, but apparently that's not correct. It was
No, I think it was Phil Hart that did both of those.
Both of those?
And the indebtedness one was to apply the same rules that now cities have to. If you're going to be indebted for more than a year, then you have to have a 2/3 vote of the people. So that's what covers that one.
For taking on the indebtedness.
Indebtedness.
Okay.
And that's can be quite important now that property values are dropping.
Yes.
If they sell bonds thinking they're going to get this tax revenue, the assessor says the bonds or all the property is devalued by 15% last year, your bonds won't raise the same amount of money. So that's an important one.
In the brief half minute we might have here, how would you tell the viewers how they might be able to get more information regarding this particular topic? Who do you recommend they see?
I would recommend they see the Idaho Freedom Foundation. Has a good book that they're passing out.
Okay.
And
that would be Wayne Hoffman's
Wayne
group.
Hoffman's group. I believe Rachel Gilbert used to be a senator here, has worked on this and has a committee, a tax advisory committee that's been working on it, and I think they have some information as well. But Wayne Hoffman is by far the expert on it, and he has some people assigned just to it. So
very good.
Trust him, and he'll give you any information you need. And watch your legislators. Call them, write them.
Thank you very
be
much,
bashful.
Representative Sims.
Thank you.
You have been watching Legislative Watch, and my guest this evening has been Kathleen Sims. I'm Alan Hodge, and good evening.